AVGN Gamer Fuel is best fuel. Anyway, as promised, I have been doing some tests in regards to the cartridge slot positioning of the NeoSD Pro, which is a pretty awesome cartridge so far, but it does have its problems. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second, but just to let you know, this right here is a Neo Geo AES. It's got a revision 3-5 motherboard. The caps replaced, everything. The cartridge pins look absolutely fine from the assembly line. Memory card, fresh battery in the memory card too. And I got a Neo Geo joystick right here, the Model 1 joystick, as well as I got a second joystick here, which, you know, for this test is unnecessary. And I've also got the original BIOS chip, which is unnecessary too. This is a Japanese AES model, just to let you know, because it is got a step up and down transformer plugged into the 100-volt slot. And as you can take a look right here, this is the specs that the power adapter is. So that in and of itself is what we're going to be doing to test it. And of course it's, you know, it's connected up to a power strip right there and all that good stuff. But anyway, going to test this out real quick. And it's something interesting that I found out with this test. Really what you got to do is it's precision cartridge tilting is what I've been doing. Now, I do not recommend this. If you try this, it is your responsibility and liability if you do this. I'm not going to be held responsible for doing this. But anyway, here it is. Got a Kingston 256 gigabyte SD card, micro SD card in there, loaded in there, and all that good stuff. The pins, here's what I did with the pins, and I also did this with the SD card slot. I used some can of compressed air here, and I made sure that these pins were dusted before I did this. But anyway, we're going to try this real quick. So here's what I did at first. I did fit the cartridge into the cartridge slot flush, but here's what I did. I tilted it to where it was to the right. That's probably not a good example. And then slid it into the left. If I can get it like that. It's hard to do with one hand. You really have to have two hands to do this. Let's see. And come on. There we go. All right, so got in there. I think it is. I put in the right side first and then started slightly going to the left here. And of course the power is off, so we're going to try this. And as you can see, the Unibias comes up, no problems. And there is still some graphical glitching here. But let's tap the reset button. See if that fixes it. And it hasn't. So let's turn that off. Try this again here. Because when I did it from right to left in terms of inserting it, let's make sure these pins are okay. Yeah, they're fine. These things are usually built to last anyway. I usually do it from like right to left, and I was normally, you gotta have two hands to do this because it's kind of delicate. So let's try that. Make sure it's in there good. Flip the switch. Unibias, graphics are fine on the Unibias. And a little bit of glitch in there, but yeah, the menu's just fine. It's not gonna have any problems now. So let's load up a game here. Let's see here. Let's go all the way down. So I am starting to get some graphical glitching upon moving the menu, but You're going to see what it looks like with the game going here. I know this is like it's probably going to be about a 10-minute video, but this is important for everyone. Okay, I didn't want that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I've got Unibios 4.0 by Rizula, burn on EEPROM. So, and of course the EEPROM's covered, but let's go here. Just any console. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but you know what? Whatever. Okay. No graphical glitches whatsoever. So let's see here. Go to that. See, graphics are fine and everything. So there's not a real problem with the graphics or anything on the games themselves. It's just the main menu, and that's the thing with it. I did try tilting the cartridge a little bit, of course, with the power off and then turning it on, and I get mixed results. Mainly due to just the way the cartridge is positioned, and all the times I had it tilted right up above the cartridge slot, it won't get rid of the graphical glitches or anything like that. So cartridge tilting on this, definitely risky. I would not recommend it, and it's definitely not going to fix the problem here. My hunch, as I slide this in, let's try booting up again. See, Unibios has no problems. The game has no problems. And see, I put the cartridge in from right to left, and it's not having any issues. Let's go down the list here and just see if there's any graphical glitches. Okay, so there's no graphical glitches, nothing like that. And of course I can go down the list and everything. Put up some KOF 2000 here. That's going to take a little bit, but you know, it's a bigger game. So bigger games, they're going to load a lot slower unless you use those other slots ahead of time. But yeah, it's mixed results. I think you get better results from putting the cartridge in, slightly tilting it from right, and then pushing in from right to left. And that helps a little bit, but it's not a guaranteed fix. I do still think that there's something wrong with the firmware on this. For those of you out there in the community, I would definitely let Alex know about this. Alex, if you can see this and you can understand what I'm saying, I know you're from Andorra. I think there's a firmware problem here, and I think it does need a slight fix, a slight bug fix, but it's not the end of the world. Now, sometimes when I do have these graphical glitches, the system will reboot and automatically reset if the graphical glitches get bad enough. I'll just let it go from there. It was a little too late on the trigger there. But yeah, see, and this is a gigapower game. It runs just fine. There's no problems. No problems whatsoever. So, yeah. So there's really no problems with the gameplay. It's just the main menu itself, which is not a deal breaker. But it would still be good to have this fixed with a small bug fix or something, if that is possible. I'm not saying it's possible, but if it is at all humanly possible, that would be great. To Alex and Terra Onion, you make one heck of a good product with this thing. I think it's awesome. I freaking love it. I love the fact that you can play AES, MVS, and CD library games. Now, I know that the CD library is not entirely there yet, but it is a step in the right direction. That I will say, as far as, you know, just a shorthand review on that. But yeah, that's really the whole issue there. Is I think it has something to do with slight cartridge slot positioning, as well as a combination of it being a firmware bug. See, it had no problems there when I booted it up, but yeah. For those of you out there in the Terra Onion / NeoSD Pro AES community, like I said, I do not recommend doing any kind of cartridge tilting here. But I will suggest, you know, putting the cartridge in from right to left and pushing down on it. Now, again, this is not a recommendation. It's just a suggestion. But as far as like actual cartridge tilting is concerned, like, you know, pulling the cartridge left and right like this and trying to get it to work like that, you're still going to get graphical glitches and errors, and you could damage your console if you cartridge tilt too much. That's always a danger with cartridge tilting, and I do not recommend doing that. Anything you do like that, that's your own responsibility and liability. I'm not going to be held responsible for doing that. This is something that I experiment on my own with. Experiment at your own risk. Like I said, experiment at your own risk. But when it comes down to inserting the cartridge from right to left and pushing down from right to left till it's flush with the board, that's not a problem at all. But yeah, and really, when you do that, you're kind of playing it safe with that whole thing. But you know, that's pretty much the point there. So I know this is a 12-minute long video. It's pretty late. As you can see, it's 12:08 right now. So I got work tomorrow. I gotta go back to work at my second job. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing there. Solid system. It's got no problems with it. Definitely a solid cartridge, albeit with a minor firmware bug, I would say. And this is the current up-to-date firmware as of August. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is Good Day Jay signing out. I hope this video helps. Let me know what you think. Peace, and I love y'all. Take care.